Hello everybody and welcome to episode 100 of my Minecraft survival world. So I'm going to be doing a world tour in this video, and so I do have, this is a copy of the world, so I don't know what day I'm on since it's a copy of the world and so it says day 0. But if I want to, I will be able to go into spectator mode if I need to check some things out. And, yeah, also there will be a link to a world download in the description, so if you're interested, you can, check that out. Alright, so I'm just gonna get started, right here. So this here is world spawn, and so it has pathways going out in all, 4 different directions, although this is pretty recent. So these two sides have pathways going out, but I still am yet to do stuff over here. And there are some crafting tables in the middle, a diamond block surrounded by quartz, and this is the world spawn. This is the world spawn. This is where you spawn all the time. And up here there are just some beds, because I don't know, beds might come in useful at spawn. And there are some more crafting tables here, and there's a barrel surrounded by quartz. So this is just if I die or something and I don't have my my bed as my respawn point, then I can just go here and grab some useful items. So I have diamond armor. It's all unenchanted because I don't really need it to be enchanted, but all unenchanted diamond armor and unenchanted diamond tools and some food and a mending and unbreaking 3 elytra. I probably should have put in some fireworks in here. Yeah, that's alright. I'll probably do that sometime later. Okay, so I'm going to walk around this path right here. So this forest, it was originally a forest, but then I completely deforested it, and then I replanted everything. And I also bone mealed the ground, so it looks very nice here. And so right here is the museum. So this is inspired off of one of those Greek buildings with the pillars supporting up the ceiling or the roof. And so this is just where I'm going to keep my most valuable items. So I don't really have that many valuable items so far, but I have a beacon right here, a diamond block, dragon head, and the dragon egg right here. I have some non-placeable blocks, such as this netherite ingot, a cat disc, eye of ender, and gas tier. I probably will replace some of these with other items, like the gas tier, for example. It's not exactly valuable, but it's kind of cool, I guess. And then there's also an ender chest right here, and the rest of these things don't have an item for them yet. And then, so right here, there's just a pathway going out to spawn. So you can just, if you're at spawn, you can go directly to right here. And there's also kind of like a crossing pathway right here. So there will probably be a pathway going out right here eventually. I just haven't made it yet. And also, there is a pathway going down here and continuing off there, so I will walk down there soon. But here is a 5x5 map of level. Each map is level 2, so it covers more area. So as you can see, we're kind of on this. It's technically a massive island because you can see there are rivers, or maybe that's kind of not a river there, but it's kind of like a big island right here. And you can see this is where pretty much everything has happened. And so we have a snow biome up here, and a lot of windswept hills around this area. So you can see all these areas with gray, those are windswept hills. And there's also a plains biome to the south and a bunch of forest everywhere as well. So this is always updating. I have other maps in this world that are locked to specific times, but this one will always be updating, and my plan is to cover this entire stone part of the ceiling with maps. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty big. It took a while to do just this 5x5, so it's probably gonna take an extremely long time to do all this, but the goal is to eventually have just one huge, massive map for me to look at, and it'll be pretty cool. So, I'm going to walk down in this direction now, along the pathway here, just taking the scenery. So, right here is the laboratory. It's based off of a laboratory. I kind of made the entrance a big hole in the ground. But before I get to that, though, I want to go over to the beehive right here. So I just made a automatic honeycomb farm, and so for a long time, it was just it was just not just exposed, and it didn't really look very nice. So I decided to make this giant replica of a beehive. Well, one of the ones you make, not the ones that the bees spawn with. So to get in, you just need to go through the little slot right there. It usually isn't that difficult. So I'm gonna just try to get in. There we go. And then right here, you can see we have the bees and also some honeycomb. There are some honey bottles in here because I did recently convert it to have honey bottles instead of honeycomb, but it's back to honeycomb now. So I should probably take these out pretty soon. And yeah, so we have this room with birch walls and some honeycomb ceiling and a yellow and black striped carpet for, you know, kind of like the bee colors. And you can see here the farm working. So to get out, it's a little bit painful. You just need to fly out just like that. And there we go. And then here's the top right here. So I'm gonna set the time today. There we go. Alright, so next I'm gonna go over to here. So I made this kind of like skylight thing in episode 2. So this was down here. This was originally a big cave, except it's not really a cave anymore because I built all over it. But so this is kind of meant to be kind of like this, I don't know, a cool thing. So I placed down a sign right here, the skylight episode 2, May 7th, 2023. So originally the skylight was kind of going in on the cave below. So the cave, yeah, it's kind of, you can see it's not really there anymore, but this was kind of like a small replica of the cave. Not exactly, but so originally I just had the cave down here with my crafting table and furnace, and yeah, just it wasn't like this for a while. It was originally just looking down on here, but I thought it might be cool to just make this little thing right here. And so yeah, I placed these glass blocks on episode 2, and they have not been broken since. It annoys me a little bit that it isn't on the same Y level as these blocks right here, but that's okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna go down into my lab right here. So I'm just gonna drop down right here, and so there are 4 water elevators in each corner for me to just easily be able to go up to the surface right here. So right here is my strip mine right here. So I have a big hole dropping all the way down right here. And then you can see I've gone in that direction pretty far. I haven't really done all that much strip mining in this world. I do it occasionally, but yeah, not all that much, so I don't have that many diamonds. But that's okay, because I don't really need diamonds all that much. So now I can go back up to the surface right here through this very long water elevator. And now I'm back right here. So I'm gonna go to my nether portal room now. So this right here is a punk man. I got him on Halloween. That's why he has a pumpkin on his head. And yeah, he's just been sitting in a jungle boat ever since Halloween. I wanted to move him for so long, but I have no place to put him in it, and he's just so annoying. I don't even know why I've kept him alive this long, but if I just walk by, he just punches me, and I hate it so much. But yeah, I want to get rid of him though. So here is the Nether portal room. It's pretty small, but I like it. So there's kind of like these little uh pot things, not really pot things, but things to put nether foliage on, and then little lights in the walls right here, kind of like basalt beams for the nether wart blocks up here, and it's pretty well lit. And then also this kind of texture for the floor with crimson planks, netherrack, and nether wart blocks. So I'm pretty proud of this floor. It was very I didn't enjoy building it, but the result was definitely worth it. And yeah, I didn't enjoy it, so I did it much more in the Nether hub. So yeah, I like the floor. I didn't enjoy making it, but I like the floor. So I also made that the ceiling in the Nether hub, and also the floor. So the Nether hub is much larger than the Nether portal room. So it's kind of like world spawn. So this is where my Nether portal was originally. I did raise it a couple blocks, but this is where it was. So I just built this kind of a raised area around here, and also the roof kind of, it's like a mirror except for the hallways being on the bottom half. So it goes in 4 different directions. So it goes in that direction, and this direction, and this direction. I haven't done much outside of where my base is, so I haven't really gone out in these directions all that much. But down here, right down here is my netherite mine. So if I go down here, there's gonna be kind of like a small room right here. Takes a little bit of time to get down. Alright, so here we go. So this is a chest for just a bunch of extra stuff. I really don't like throwing away stuff, even if it's completely useless and I'll never ever use it. But yeah, I just don't like throwing things out, and so I kind of made this room here, and I go out in different directions for exploding beds and that kind of stuff. So if I go into spectator mode, you can see all of the netherite mining I did. I only got enough to get full netherite armor and tools and a couple extra ingots, but yeah, it took a pretty long time and a lot of bed exploding. But yeah, I just think that it's pretty cool to see all of the damage that I've done to the underground ecosystem down here. But yeah, it's pretty annoying because you're constantly running into lava and stuff. I block out most of the lava, but sometimes I have to stop, like right here, because there's no way that I'm getting through this. I'm not gonna get rid of all this lava right here. That'd take way too long. So I'm gonna fly back up here in the spectator mode because it's just a little bit faster. Alright, and now I'm gonna go to the other side right over here, this hallway right here. And so this goes all the way over to the nether, not the nether fortress, the end portal. So I'm gonna go and fly right over here. I'm not gonna go into the end, or actually, yeah, I will. I will, because then I can get back to my my base pretty quickly. But if I go through the nether portal right here, you can see I spawn in the stronghold. Then I can go into the end right here, and then this is the tunnel I originally dug out when I fought the ender dragon. And then, so yeah, you can see all of the gateways are all spawned in around here because I spent a very long time getting gas tiers and fighting the ender dragon. And yeah, I'll admit I did die quite a few times, even in the best possible armor in the game. But yeah, so now I have all of these gateways around here, which is very, very nice. And one of my plans for the end is to just completely destroy the island. I'm not sure what I'll do after that, but I want to mine out the entire island, which I think I'm underestimating how long that will take. And yeah, and also probably get rid of all the pillars, which I'm also probably underestimating how long that will take. But yeah, that's future me's problem. So I'm gonna go back into here, and yeah, you can see I'm at my base again. One thing that I want to show you though, actually, it's a small detail, but so so what I was originally going to do was have the blackstone go all the way around like it does right here for the entire pathway right here. But I realized how much nether brick this took, and it takes way too much nether brick to do this. And so it was going to take even more blackstone. Blackstone isn't really that fun to get. So what I did was I kind of made this kind of, I don't know, wither away right here where I wanted it to stop. So this is a nice open bridge area, kind of like the nether fortresses. And so this kind of gets broken off, like the end of the bridges in the nether fortresses. So, yeah, it was originally going to be just one long tunnel, but that's extremely impractical because one, I have to dig too much, and I also need to get a lot more blackstone, and I also can't really fly out of the tunnel as easily. I'll have to make a bunch of exits and that kind of stuff, and it's not really that useful. So I decided to not do blackstone like I originally planned. Alright. So now I'm gonna go over to my storage room. Right over here. So this is where I store all my items. I do have most items that I'm storing collected. I don't have mycelium yet because I haven't found a mushroom biome yet, but I am hoping to find that pretty soon. So I have all the kinds of dirt here, all the stones, all the ores, all the different kinds of woods, and also a bunch of mob loot, a bunch of non-stackable items and work and utility items, and then nether stuff. And then here, this is where all the colored blocks go. So there's concrete on the floor to indicate what the chests are, and then there's a sign right here. So the bottom blocks are the dye chests, and the terracotta is on the second layer. Wait a minute. Oh no, the concrete is on the second layer. So yeah, the concrete goes on the second layer. And then the terracotta goes on the third layer here, and then stained glass goes on top here. So yeah, these chests aren't really filled up that much because I haven't done much with these blocks. But I am prepared to have a lot of these blocks because, well, you never know. And then here, this whole section is just for building blocks, so things like glass and all this kind of stuff. And then right over here, we have uncategorized items. So I can usually empty out my inventory without having too many things that don't have a place to belong. But the things that don't, this is where they go. I'm thinking of making a lighting chest because I have quite a lot of that stuff. And then here are the pottery shards here, and then shulker boxes and armor trims and books and that kind of stuff. And then here is food and glowstone and shroom lights and all of this kind of stuff. And then here are natural blocks and just a bunch of miscellaneous items and that kind of stuff. And then farming items here, and yeah, just a bunch of natural blocks over here. And then here, there are just a couple of chests. I don't really, if I have extra items that I want to sort later, but not at the moment. This is where I put the items. And then here's a jukebox, because why not? And then here's my bed, and here are my two pets, so my cat Milo and my dog Leaf. Alright, and then here, I just have a bunch of different, items, blocks that I can use for different things. So I have an ender chest, stone cutter, anvil, and, tool. What are these things called again? Smithing table. Oh yeah. Okay, and then over here, is I call it the extended storage area, but it's basically a non-stackable item storage area. I got most of these from leveling up villagers. You'll see that later. So yeah, I just got a ton of items here. Just an absolute ton of items I'm probably never going to need. And like I said before, I really do not like throwing things out. So I could have thrown all this stuff out that I'm never going to use because I don't think I'm ever going to use all this stuff. But I just, you never know. You never know, right? And I have a ton of saddles here. And a ton of shears and all of this stuff right here. Alright, and then there are also a bunch of paintings around here, which is kind of nice, because earlier, when I didn't have paintings, it was kind of boring. Alright, so that is the storage room over here. So over here, this is kind of, so like I said before, this is kind of a lab. That's what I was kind of going for. So I made the walls white and gray concrete because I don't know, when I think of laboratories, I kind of think of white walls and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't think I've been to a laboratory before, so I don't know. I'm no scientist or anything, but I thought it might be cool to kind of do this for my base, and I also used a lot of copper and that kind of stuff for the hallways. You can see a ton of copper, and so yeah, kind of there's an intersection right here which goes out in a bunch of different directions here. So I'm gonna go off here first, and then there's this brewing room right here. So I have a mini uh beetroot, no, not beetroot, what's this called, netherwort farm right here. Oh no, I don't like throwing things out. I know this is a copy of a world, but still. So yeah, and then here's chests for brewing supplies. I only have netherwort because I don't really store brewing supplies here. I store it in the storage room. But yeah, I have a bunch of these brewing stands right here, and then some water here for the water bottles. And then right past here, I have what I like to call the villager generator. So what I do is I just flick this lever and a villager pops out, and then there is a villager in a minecart which stops here, and then this a zombie named K can kill it, and then I can cure it, which the potions are usually in here, but I used them all up. So yeah. And then right here you can kind of see the villager breeder in action. Okay, you can see there are way too many villagers for comfort for the villagers here. You can see they're kind of just being teleported back here because there's too many villagers in this block. How many entities? Well, so if I look back here, there's 80, then 320. So I think it's pretty safe to say that there's at least 200 villagers in there. Actually, you know, maybe about 100. I'm not sure. But and then here these are the villagers that have made all of those villagers right over there. And so yeah, this is just a cool room to look in here. I'm planning on making something else in here, except I'm not sure what I would make, because this is a pretty small room. So this is just a room of no purpose, and it also has the cool thing where you can see inside the villager breeder. So I'm gonna actually look inside here and show you how it works. So this chest right here, actually, you put the mine carts that you get from the villagers in here, and then hoppers send it all the way back into this dispenser right here. And then so, the villagers would get picked up by the minecart because it goes up right here through here, and then it goes into this place. And so, and then this lever right here goes through this little hallway right here, and then goes over to the minecart here. It's a little bit hard because I need to make sure that the redstone doesn't interfere with the hoppers. And then, so you can see here, these are some baby villagers awaiting to grow up. And then right here, I'll just go through where the villagers go. So, these two villagers breed, and they think that they can fall, because they think that they can fall asleep, but they actually can't access the beds. And then the babies fall down here, and then they go into here, and then they grow up and glitch through here, and then fall into here, and then get picked up by the minecart. Alright, so now I am going to go over there a little bit later, but for now I'm going to go over to this area right here. So over here is the map room and library. So we'll go to the map room first. So this is where I store all of my maps except for the one at the museum. So this is of January 6th, 2024. So this is when I started recording with maps. So you can see, you know what, actually, on second thought, let's visit this later because, visit this last because I don't want to spoil anything. But so here is the library. You know, actually, I'm gonna bring this lighting to moody because some of my things require moody lighting to kind of have the atmosphere that I would like. So this library houses all of the different enchantment books that you can possibly get from villagers. So right here we have Unbreaking 3, and right here we have Mending. So very, very nice. Also pretty cheap trades as well. And as you can see, I cured all of the villagers in this world, so I pretty cheap trades. I'm pretty sure these don't last forever, but I'm hoping that they last a pretty decent amount of time. And then, so yeah, we have a bunch of redstone torches and a little bit of glow lichen in this area. And right here, we have kind of the upstairs area that you can just look down on the balcony, and we have a nice chandelier made of bamboo, and that, and then this nice ceiling, and also all these books that you can read from. Not really, but let's just pretend that you can. And then right here, this is my enchantment setup, so I don't know if the glow lichen interferes with this or not. I don't think I have anything that you can enchant, but so this is the enchantment table, and then this is the anvil and grindstone. I never really use this because I have the anvil in the storage room, and I never enchant my items anymore because I have all the enchantments that I could ever want, but it's still good to have. And then, and then I kind of have the library separated into 3 different sections here. So over here are the tools enchantments, over here are the projectile enchantments, and then over here are the armor enchantments. So I'm going to start over here. The villagers are labeled here, so efficiency. So we have efficiency 5 here, looting 3, smite 5, and I tried to get cheap trades for most of them, but it's fine. There's a couple that could be better, but definitely could be worse. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all the villagers, but you can see we have a Luck of the Sea, Fire Aspect, Sweeping Edge, Allure, Knockback, Bane of Arthropods, Sharpness, Silk Touch, and Fortune. Okay, that's a mistake right there. The enchantment should be on the second layer down. Alright, well, this is a copy of the world, so fixing it's not going to do anything, so I'll just have to remember this later. Hopefully, when I'm editing this video, I can just have the world open and fix my mistakes while I'm editing it. Alright, so here we have the projectile trade, so power, punch, multi-shot, piercing, loyalty, channeling, riptide, impaling, quick charge, and flame, and infinity. So I actually do have a couple extra spaces in each area. I don't know if villagers are gonna get updated to trade different books. So just in case, I do have a few extra areas for the villagers, but honestly, it's likely that they won't be used. But if they do, that'll be nice. And then here, projectile protection. So these are the armor enchantments. So blast protection, aqua affinity, respiration, feather falling, curse of vanishing, curse of binding, frost walker, depth strider, thorns, fire protection, and protection. So it might be good to know that all of these enchantments are the max level. So it's not like for protection I'll have protection 3 or anything. That's just completely unacceptable. So I must have protection 4, and also I got a really good trade for this as well. Alright, and so yeah, that is the library. It took so many books, but and this also took a really long time because of the villagers, but I'm glad it's built, and I'm very happy with this. So I'll turn the brightness back up, and now I'll go to another part of the world and skip the map room for now. So the intersection kind of goes into three different areas. So we just explored one area, so now I'm gonna go this way. So right here, there's another entrance into the brewing room right here. And then here is the wool room. So this is an automatic wool room. So it just keeps making a ton of wool. It is so nice. I hardly ever use the wool, but it's still very nice to have nonetheless. It was very helpful for making beds when I went netherite mining. And so if I go into spectator mode, you can see that there's just a bunch of sheep being sheared. Wait, are these out of... Okay, well, it seems that some of the dispensers do need to be restocked, so that's a slight issue. But that's okay, I can do that later. And so, yeah, this is very nice, and I can get all the wool I want, and these are all of the colors in the game. So yeah, this room is very nice. And over here, we have the animal room. So, I kind of wanted to make this kind of seem like an outdoor area, but it's underground. So I made the sky out of wool, and I kind of made this terrain on the walls and this little pond right here, and I think that it turned out pretty decently. And so yeah, on this side we have a lot of cows because of leather. I don't know why you're doing what you're doing in there. And I don't know why there are sheep in here. Yeah, I have no idea. If I'm gonna guess, might be because maybe babies growing up or something, and that might be part of the issue. But yeah, there are supposed to be only chickens in here and only sheep in here. I probably should have put the cows in this pen, but that's a little bit too late for that. And no, yeah, and we have this pathway in the middle, and also the fences. So the cows, all the animals, can't get out of the cages, or no, not cages, pens. But I can jump off, and it kind of blends in a little bit because of the moss carpet here. And so yeah, I can just walk all the way across, and the animals can't get out or anything, which is very nice. Alright, well, this area is a much smaller area. There's not really that much to it. There's only those two rooms, but it goes off in this direction into a stone wall. So I will probably build some other things there in the future. But for now, it's just going to be empty there. And now we have covered the two different areas out here. So I'm going to go over in this direction now. So I'm gonna start over here. So this here is the villager trading hall. So there is a total of so I'm pretty sure there's a total of 160 villagers in here. So each kind of row here is 10 villagers. So I have 20 librarians here. Also, each villager is maxed out. Okay, never mind. They're not all maxed out. They should all be maxed out, but most of them are maxed out, and there's just a couple odd ones that aren't maxed out. But, so all of these are maxed out. Let's just pretend we didn't see that. I'll do a little bit of trading later. And then we have all these cartographers, 20 cartographers right here, all maxed out. Or at least I'm pretty sure they are. And so here there are also 20 librarians. And then here there are 20 farmers, so I can just trade for golden carrots and that kind of stuff. The farmers are where I get most of my emeralds, because I can just trade them melons and pumpkins, which is just very nice. And so yeah, these are 20 villagers, and then for the rest of the villagers I only have 10, because I think that and these three are the most important. Maybe not so much the cartographers. But what I can do is buy glass from the librarians, and turn it into glass panes, and then trade that with the cartographers, and I get a lot of levels and emeralds and that kind of stuff. And then, so right over here, we have the armorers, which I get a lot of diamond armor from, and also clerics, which are also very nice. And then over here, we have the weaponsmiths, which sell weapons and axes and that kind of stuff. And then, so that's 10, and then there are 10 toolsmiths, all maxed out, which are very useful for diamond pickaxes and also, well, tools. And so, yeah, the armorers, weaponsmiths, and toolsmiths were actually, they took a very long time to level up, because the problem with these villagers is that the iron trade is one of the best trades for leveling it up. If I didn't use the iron trade, it would take even longer, so it was extremely expensive to trade all the iron. And I don't have an iron farm or anything, so I'm pretty much broke on iron now because of these guys. Alright, and then over here we have masons, which let me buy some quartz and all these different kinds of blocks and bricks, which are very, very nice. And then over here we have fletchers, which I can sell sticks to them, and also buy arrows from, and all this stuff, and also buy tipped arrows. And so yeah, there are 10 masons and 10 fletchers here. And then these are the last hallways here, so here are the shepherds, which I can buy wool and also paintings, which are very nice. And the leather workers, I can buy leather armor and saddles and horse armor, which is very, very nice. So, and then here's the last area here. So I have fishermen and also butchers, which is also pretty nice. So yeah, this place took a very long time. I actually built it a very long time ago, but I recently finished it because I was just like, oh, I gotta get this done before the world tour. So yeah, it was a bit of a hassle getting this done. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and this was a pretty big project right here. I don't want to do anything else with villagers in this world. You've probably seen the most of it now, because I think I'm done more than anyone should do with villagers. But yeah, this is more than enough. Alright, and then here's where I keep pumpkins and glass panes and that kind of stuff. And then over here is the farm room. So I kind of have multiple floors to this, but you'll see. So this is the first floor that I made. And so I grew potatoes here, and carrots, and wheat, and pumpkins and melons. So that's where I get the pumpkins and melons from. And so, yeah, this took a really long time, both for digging this out, because I didn't have haste or anything, and also getting all of the quartz, because this is a lot of quartz. I don't know if you can see or not, but this is a lot of quartz here. I did it for the floor and the walls. It took so much quartz. I just, yeah, I don't know why I chose to do quartz. I've noticed that I make my builds with pretty expensive blocks, and it's probably not the greatest thing. So, yeah, but I'm pretty happy with this. I like how I use the jungle wood and kind of, the ceiling right here, and it's all nice and lit up. Dang it. Oh, this is a copy of the world. It doesn't matter. Okay. Good. Good, okay. I would have been really annoyed if I did that in the actual world. So then down here, so it goes up one floor and down one floor here. So down here is the tree room where I farm my trees. Well, actually, not really. I built this and then realized that it's kind of impractical to farm trees here. So I kind of just didn't do that. Yeah, but here I have my automatic sugarcane farm. It's not really that efficient at all, but I just want to get the sugarcane off of the surface so that it'd be nice and clean up there. And then so what happens is the bamboo grows up to the observers, and then it just triggers all these pistons right here. And yeah, just very, very, very simple. And then there's a minecart going around under there. And Yeah, and then it just goes into this chest right here. So you can see I have 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 15 different places to grow trees, which is very, very nice. And so, and then I have all these sea lanterns on the floor, which light the place up pretty well. And so I was gonna do this floor dirt earlier, but I decided not to do that. But I was kind of going for the room to kind of be like a tree. So we have the trunk here, because the wall's made of wood, and then the leaves for the top where the leaves are. Um, so yeah, I kind of did a little bit of variation with the azalea leaves on the ceiling right here, which I think turned out pretty nice. And also the walls were pretty annoying to make, pretty tedious to make. But you can see what I was kind of going for is kind of it looks like I'm kind of storing all the logs that I've made back here. I'm not actually, but in this room, it's kind of pretending like all these logs are being stacked up in different layers. So you can see, these are the front logs right here, and you can see the farther the back it gets, the darker it gets. So you can kind of, I don't know, if you kind of look at it a certain way, it kind of looks like there are, it's like a city, it's like a cityscape, because there are the buildings in the front, and then there are buildings going up and up behind them, and then it just gets darker and darker because there's less light reaching there. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of cool. And so yeah, this room took a pretty decent amount of time to make, and we also have this kind of design right here, which I like. And so yeah, that's the tree room right down here, so I can go all the way up this ladder right here into the sugarcane room. I made a massive room only for sugarcane, and so yeah. I did make a guardian farm so that I could get all of this prismarine here, and it took absolutely forever to get all of the ink sacs for the dark prismarine, but I'd say it was worth it. This is very, very nice. I like this a lot. So, yeah, this grows more sugarcane than I'll ever need. I hardly even harvest this because I know will fill up my chests. And it'll take so many shulker boxes. But, yeah, this room is pretty nice. I have a bunch of different designs on the walls depending on how large the gap is from the pillars. So this is a 5-block gap design. So it's kind of supposed to be like a trident. Kind of supposed to be like a trident here. Because of the dark prismarine kind of making the shape here. And then this is supposed to be kind of like a guard. I don't know, like a prismarine temple guard right here. So you can kind of see there are kind of like a helmet, making a helmet shape right here. Did I punch that? No. And then these are the eyes right here, which I think is kind of cool. And then here's the 5-block gap with the trident here. And then here's the guard. And then right here is kind of supposed to be like I don't know, the king or something, like the thing in the highest power, and then so it's like the guard, but much more, I don't know, bigger or something. And then so yeah, just that gets copied depending on how large the gap is. The gaps are only either 5 or 6 or 7 blocks. And yeah, so right up here now, this place is under a lake. And the interesting thing about this lake is that it wasn't here before. You can see, if I go into F3, you can see the biome is a forest. It's not a river. It's not an ocean. It's a forest. Because I dug all of this out here. All of this used to be forest, and I terraformed all of this land over here to make it be like a lake, and it was just, yeah, it took a pretty decent amount of time. I'll admit, it took a pretty decent amount of time. So, I'm gonna fly out right here. And so, yeah, this is a pretty big lake. So, if we go over here, so you see this island right here, that was actually the shore of the forest right there. So it kind of went along like that, but I made all of this, made it look all natural and stuff, and did all of this terraforming on the side. And yeah, it took quite a long time, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. And yeah, I hope it looks kind of natural. That was what I was going for, but I'm not sure. I think it does, but I don't know about you. All right, and then over here is what I like to call the Fisherman Island, and here's the Fisherman Hut. So I was kind of trying something new right here, so just making a small, nice house for a fisherman. So right here's the fisherman's dock, and this is where the fisherman can just uh fish in the river, very very nice, and then put his findings right in here, and then here's kind of like a nice pathway going up into the house here. And so in here, it's pretty small, but you have the fisherman gear, and then some a barrel, a furnace, and a cauldron right here. And then here is the fishing rod he uses. And so unbreaking 3, mending, lure 3, luck of the sea 3. Those enchantments came from the library, and then so yeah, here's a chest, and then here is a bed right here. And then there's also a couple of extra details here. So there's kind of like hay bales being strapped down, and then there's a barrel right here. And so yeah, a part of the house is made with mud bricks because it's kind of a river, and there's mud at rivers. And then this side is made of planks. So and then here is the roof right here. So I did have a slight issue because there was a couple of oak planks being exposed right here, and there wasn't really anything I could do about it. So what I did was I kind of made this railway thing and 2 posts here. I don't know what this is. I really don't. I just made this on the roof to make it kind of look like one of those odd details you might make on a roof. And I think it turned out pretty decently. I mean, I tried to... I think this is about the best I could have done to hide the planks here. And then here is just the chimney right here. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And then there's also kind of like this a piece of wood that protects the fishermen from rain if it's raining. Alright, so now I'm going to, I think, you know what, I think that's it, except for the map room. So, oh wait, oh no, there's one more thing. So, if I go out in this direction for a little bit, and so if I go out in this direction, I do have a prismarine farm. I don't usually build stuff really far out, but I kind of didn't really have a choice here. So out here in this direction, past the small island here, there was an ocean monument. So I made this very nice prismarine farm right here. So if I go all the way up to the surface here, and then just AFK on this Y level, you can see all of the guardians that are being trapped in there. It's very, very fast, very nice, and I'm very happy with this. And then if I go over in this direction now, and I go over to the nether, I'll show you the where I collect everything. Alright, so if I go off into this direction, there is a warped forest here and a crimson forest. And so right here is where I collect everything, so all the loot should be right in here. So I've a ton of chests that store all of the items. So yeah, this chest is unloading stuff at the same time as it's receiving stuff. So yeah, this is just filling up right here. And so that is the guardian farm here. So the guardians fall into here and get killed by the campfires, and then there are just hoppers going into these chests right here. And then right over here close by is the nether fortress that I go to. You can see I've dug out quite a lot of area, quite a lot of netherrack bricks here, because of all the netherrack that I needed. And yeah, and I also have this failed blaze farm that doesn't really work. Yeah, it's not, I'm not that, I tried making it on my own, didn't end up well. And yeah, I'm just gonna try and forget it. Cause yeah, I don't really like it all that much. Now, before I move on to the map room, I did forget one thing right here. So right down here, there is a cave right here that I made. So this is supposed to be kind of like this underground area that pirates kind of trade and stuff, and so um yeah, this is a pretty cool place. I actually did have two frogs in here. There's one right here, so Mr. Fog. And there was also another frog called Mr. Bog down here, but I don't actually know where he went. It's interesting. I did check before this and I couldn't find him, and I looked around a little bit. But yeah, I guess Mr. Bog is just gone now because I can't find him. But this is kind of just has a bunch of platforms going around right here, a couple of bridges where it goes down here, and there are just a bunch of barrels around here. We have a bunch of patches of things like dripstone and deep slate and moss and cobblestone. I'm a little bit of a transition with mossy cobblestone in between cobblestone and moss. And then we also have some ores scattered around. In this area right here seemed a little bit empty, so I added in a small azalea tree right here, which I thought was nice. And we also have just a bunch of lanterns around here. It actually looks best with the moody brightness, I would say. And yeah, it just really adds to the atmosphere. It's supposed to be kind of like a damp, dark cavern that is lit a little bit. And then we have the water down underground here with a bunch of sea pickles and lily pads and these rocks jutting out of the water. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of this small cave right here, and I think that this is pretty nice. So, this cave right here, this actually was originally a naturally generated cave right here. So, I was originally just gonna fill it in with water, except I completely forgot about this for a very long time. And I don't know, this seemed like it'd be a little bit annoying to fill this up with water. This kind of under this area down here. So I just decided to make a big cave down here. So I dug all of this out right here and kind of carved out of this square room, and this is what resulted, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. So now I'm gonna go on to the map room now. Alright, so here's the map room here. So this map was made on January 6th, 2024, so a couple months ago. And so you can see, this was what it looked like. So, this was where the sugarcane farm was before I got rid of it. And also the animal pens. And then this is what the beehive looked like before. This is what it looked like. And also this was the outline for the lake. So yeah, you can see this was all forest right over here. And, well, this doesn't look like forest, but I can assure you it is. I just cut down a ton of trees. And so, yeah, all this is now gone. You'll see in later maps. But, yeah, a lot of stuff has changed up on the surface. And so here, you can see an updated map, February 18th, 2024. So the map has been, no, not the map, the lake has been made, except I haven't really made it look all that natural. I did do terraforming on the edges, except I wasn't really happy with it because, well, this is very, very square. This does not look anything like the rivers that you see out here. So, yeah, it did get changed eventually, but it was like this for quite a long time. And so yeah, you can see how I changed the bee farm to produce honey bottles. You can see it's a little bit different from the one over there. So it was like this for a while until I changed it back when I finished getting all the honey blocks. Oh, wait a minute, I did forget to mention something. The villagers are kind of staying right here because the honey is right here, keeping them down. So they can't escape or anything. They're stuck there. I forgot to mention that. That's why I needed so much honey. That's why I made this, because of all the villagers. The villagers, I've done a lot for the villagers. I don't think they appreciate it though, since I kind of trapped them. But, yeah, so you can see there's a pretty big difference here with the lake, but other than that, not really. The sugarcane farm is gone, and all the animal pens have too. But that's it. Now, this is the most recent map. I made this very recently before the World Tour. I made sure to make this before the World Tour, so, right here, we have the World Spawn and Museum right here going into the laboratory. So yeah, a lot has changed. This entire tip here of this area has been made just a completely forested area. And yeah, it's very, very nice. And you can see the lake now looks much, much better. We have the Fisherman Island right over here, and also the beehive has been made into, well, the massive beehive replica. So yeah, we can just compare the lake, and you can see this definitely looks a lot more natural. Since the glass and dark prismarine are on the same level, it's just flat blue right here. There's no changes in the texture, as you can see in the river here. So yeah, you can it doesn't really look the greatest, but it definitely looks a lot better than that, because it actually looks somewhat natural, except for this odd kind of square in the middle, but there's nothing I can do about that. And then, yeah, here's where the next map is gonna go. So I kind of have this area separated into sections. So at first I built this area, and then I kind of copied it over here, and then the hallway is 2 times as long. And then once I finish getting this map and then do the map after, I'll do the exact same thing. I'll copy this again. It'll be 3 times as long as it was originally, which it was this long right here, this entire area. So, yeah, I think that is it for my survival world. So, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that you like my world, and so I'm going to hopefully continue doing this survival world for a very long time, and I'll do probably a world tour every maybe 100 episodes. So I hope you enjoyed. This was my very first world tour I ever done, so I hope that I did all right. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.